Ladies and gentlemen, before I start my speech, I would like to ask you a question. The question is, if your friends jump off a cliff, would you also do it? It may sound cliche, as you has perhaps have heard this question from your elementary teacher, your parents, asking about this when you are with your friends. But let me give you another scenario. You are in a group of friends, and all of your friends bought the new iPhone 12. So your friends keep on talking about how good the iPhone 12 is, and you feel a little left out. And let's say if you have the financial enough to buy this iPhone 12, would you buy it? If your answer is yes, fear not, because this is normal for everyone. This behavior or phenomenon is called herd mentality. So allow me to give you the definition of herd mentality. Herd mentality is the tendency of a people in a group to think and behave in a way that conform with others in the group rather than as individuals. People can be influenced by their peers to adopt certain behavior on a largely emotional rather than rational basis, which means that people will make decisions that they would normally wouldn't make when they are thinking individually. So let's take an example. On one fine day, you and your friends goes to familiar places, and you guys start to feel hungry, and you say to your friend, "Hey man, let's go and grab some food." Yeah, sure. So you guys come at the area and saw a lot of places, restaurants and cafe, and you see one place filled with a lot of customers, and the other barely have any customers. So would you choose to eat at the place that is filled with the customers, or choose the one with less customers? So the answer would be obvious. Herd mentality has happened ages ago from our forefathers and his fathers before him. It is a way for humanity to survive the harsh survival conditions before the advancement of science and technology. Back then, people would gather up to find food, fight off predators, build shelter, etc., etc. So before we move on to the next point, I would like to show you a chart. So, which part were you, the majority or the minority? Based on a social study, shows that 95% of people are affected by herd mentality, while only 5% only prove otherwise. So, you must be wondering whether this herd immunity is good or bad. As every coin has two sides, herd mentality also contains two sides, the good and the bad one. For the first point, herd mentality makes work done easier. This term is called co-working, which means everyone is doing the same thing at the same environment. How does this help in doing the work faster? Is when everyone do the same thing, a consistent product will be produced. This is applied in a manufacturing factory or even office, where everyone is following the standard operating procedure (SOPs) to ensure that everyone is doing their work properly. For the next point, herd mentality helps people to stay together, which means that people that think alike stay alike. As the saying goes, birds of a feather flocks together. Which means people will be comfortable with other people that have the same opinion as them, which they could live together. Now let's take a look at the other side of herd mentality. When you are used to following the herd, you will left the responsibility to others. For example, in your family, let's say, usually your mom will do the cookings, and let's say one day you were left alone, so you will be clueless on how to cook. That's the quite easiest example. And next, the second point is inaccurate and out of context facts can be used by influenced person to spread rumors or even become a truth. When someone genuinely believes in something, it is hard for them to change their belief even when facts and data is shown, and this helps to spread this truth and make it even worse as they gather more people to believe in them. For my third and last point for the bad side of this herd mentality is we can be tricked into doing something that we normally wouldn't do. For example, I am sure most of you know of this application called Shopee. Yes? Shopee, for example, when we open the apps, we tend to look for products that are selling like hotcakes, which have good reviews and on promotion. So when they are hot, we will quickly try to get them, put it in the cart and pay as fast as we could to prevent it from selling out. Little that we know that the product that we buy are actually the same as the retail price. This is because many people has reviewed it as cheap, which they could easily put their own people to review it as good. Now that I have explained both of the pros and the cons of herd mentality, I will now talk about how we can make full use of this herd mentality to make it to our advantage. I would like to quote Warren Buffett, an American investor. He said that you have to be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Before making any decision, you should take your time, do some research and think carefully before doing anything, because we could lose all our rationale in the heat of the moment. So you should try to calm down and relax. Try as best as you can to avoid making decisions, important one especially, when you are stressed out or being pressured by others. So when you are doing a decision which is about you, don't take account of others. It is about you. And lastly, you must be comfortable for standing up. You have to stand up even if you are alone, because if you make your decision carefully, it could surely make a change. Believe in yourself and you can do it. In conclusion, we have to avoid from blindly following the herd. Instead, we should think rationally before following them. And better yet, we could stand up and start our own herd, making others to follow us. And that is all from me. Thank you.